Good evening, YouTube. I just wanted to put out an update video and talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing briefly here on the Arthur X Jason project. Usually I like to keep it to where I get one episode out a month. As any of you follow, which I don't have a lot of subscribers, so but any of you who follow us know that August 1st I was due out an episode. Didn't happen. I had planned on only being like a week late, but then this whole episode that kind of came out of left field, it was like a last minute thing. Some ideas came into play and it blew the whole thing out of proportion. Now this is not a bad thing, this is all good. But essentially what it's done is taking my time frame from maybe like 2 weeks of doing the episode between getting stuff together, shooting and script wise, to like 4 to 6 weeks because of the massive size of this project. And hopefully, you know, when you see the final product, you'll be happy that we took our time with it to some extent. So that's gonna be pretty big, and it's gonna have, it's like almost like having a dual part episode. You're gonna have the regular Arthur X Jason episode, then you're also gonna have like a bonus thing that's going to have cameos and all kinds of weird twisted imagery. And I worked with another editor slash director to do this other thing, so I just kind of lent my stuff to it, and so it's like a collab on there. So it's complicated, but it's going to be good. And in the main episode, I'm trying to make it really good so that they become a really nice pair, and they'll actually debut together all in one piece. These two projects, they'll be spliced together, and then later they'll probably be released individually on different channels or whatnot. So I've been really busy with that. And then also too, as some of you might be aware or not aware, I had two of my group members here, both Tiberius from Testermite and Jay Hicks from the Dolly Popka show, Viridian Flashback, whatever you want to call them, all the different aliases. And they both were able to actually come to my house here earlier in August. And we went down to what Tiberius would say, the world famous post in Malvern, which as most of you might know, or I don't know if anyone knows that, but the Game Chasers kind of made popular by doing some different trips there and pickups and whatnot. So it's not very far from where I live, so they came down here, and the purpose of that, and also to hang out, and they were here for 3 or 4 days, and that kind of took a chunk out of my time to do editing and whatnot. And we actually, when they got here, we actually did some projects and shooting and whatnot, and that's why you'll see things like the pickup videos from the post. I shot a video at the post of actually getting some stuff. There's a couple of like random thoughts number 6. If anyone's seen that on Multitapped, and if you haven't, you should. That whole thing kind of came out of there. And then we also did like a whole nother day of shooting just for some future episodes that are going to be crossovers. And I won't spoil it or anything or tell you too much about it, other than there will be 2 episodes that were shot that will be crossovers, and you can kind of give it to your imagination on how that was picked out, or I mean what shows are going to be on there. So don't know when they're going to be released, but they will come out eventually, and we got some good stuff out of there. And I don't know, I might show you some previews here in the in this video just for shits and giggles. So we did a lot of that. That took up a lot of time, and it's just with anything else, she keeps setting me back. So we've been busy with that. So I just wanted to let you know, it's not like I've stopped doing the show or anything, or I've lost interest in it. I still do. I gotta have time to get that finished. And then of course I'm trying to keep up with the schedule of doing all the other shows like Beat This Game Today and Arthur's show, which Arthur will be debuting his own show here shortly. I've been talking to him about it, and that should be really good too. But so that's where all that's been. And then secondly, what I just want to mention as well is, once this episode is done, I'm looking at my schedule this year. I'm getting married later this year, a couple months, and looking at what's left in the season to do. Probably not going to be able to hold to the schedule again. There's probably going to be a little bit of a lag in the schedule for episode wise, and that's mainly because, as some of you may or may not know, I also have another YouTube page that I've had for 4 or 5 years called the Rex Banner Project, where I do, where I've pretty much done all music remixes from video games. Basically, just like anybody else, I take the tracks, redo them in my own style, you know, change around some of the verses, add guitars here, maybe even change it from like a rock to a synth or synth to a rock, whatever the case may be. And I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years. And as part of like a tradition for the last 3 years, I've made October a big month for my channel over there, and going along with that theme, I usually try to get like a whole remix album out, or like 4 or 5 different videos on there. So I've really kind of let the Rex Banner project slide in the last, or this pretty much this year, ever since I started doing this show, because obviously I have a job, I have a house, I have obligations. I can't fucking, I can't spend 50 hours a week at work and then try to get all like video editing done for all these different 4 shows that I have and do the music stuff. It just can't be done. So it's got to be cuts made in there, which is why the Rex Banner project has only had about 3 or 4 different videos or music editions this year. I'm probably going to re-release the Superman remix that I did with High 209 that was back in the episode 2 eventually on the Rex Banner, maybe this week or next week once I get that done. But yeah, as far as like music wise, I haven't been able to do much just because it's, like I said, doing the music stuff is much more time consuming than doing the video. Video for me is kind of easy, the music is a whole nother thing because I'm a different perfectionist, and it's all me. I sit in there and I program it and I do the instruments, whether I'm singing or playing bass or programming drums or guitar solos, whatever, that's all me. So it takes time for me to do that. So probably gonna take a break after this episode comes out and try to get a lot of material out for the Rex Banner project, or at least as much as I can in the next 2 months. And I have an idea in my head, and it's gonna be really cool. I'm probably gonna reach out to some of my remix friends, and even new friends, I guess, like High 209, to see if he can loan me some drum tracks, or maybe do a collab remix. I might reach out to Project Genesis. He's been a guy I've been following, and he's awesome, and I may reach out to him because I haven't actually had a chance to do anything with him either. Probably reach out to maybe like Nintendo drummer again, and even maybe somebody new, Benevolent Dick NES, who is a fantastic drummer, which we had done a collab on the Goonies 2 Password remix that is now famous on reading Flashback as outro. He had asked me to do something for him, and we kind of threw something together for him. So I may try to get with some of these guys to get this album done, and I would tell you what it is, but then that would kind of ruin the surprise. And I want to make sure too that I can do it. This is a very ambitious album that I've been wanting to do for years, and what's strange about it too is, as great as the soundtrack is, I don't think anyone's ever done all the songs. I think you can get at least 2 or 3 of them that everyone always takes pieces from, but no one's ever gone back and done all of them, which blows my mind. The same thing why I did Supergirls and Ghosts. A lot of people do stage 1, maybe even do the Ice World stage, but the rest of them, they don't touch them, and that's just crazy because that music is so great, which is why 2 years ago I redid that whole album, and I'm really happy I did it, and I think the quality turned out great. So I'm going to try to take that kind of inspirational music and put my flavor on it and re-release it for this one. So that's something that I want to do for October, which obviously doing a whole album takes a lot of work, and I need as much time as I can, and I may even try to pepper some other things. And I have some ideas for like a Beat This Game Today episode that I want to put out. Yes, Cat. And then there's some other stuff that I want to get out. So you may see a little lull in there. And I know this has gone on probably longer than it should have, but last thing on here that I want to talk about, Multitapped. Now you probably have seen, if anyone watches my stuff, you've seen I've been putting on there a production of Multitapped production, I think. Essentially what that is some of you know it, who like Zach the NES, who I did a feature with at SGC. There's a couple of guys who have come on because of it. Basically what it is, it's a group of about 8 or 9 reviewers, all YouTube guys, or I guess that works on other pages, but that we have kind of come together and we're not necessarily just like group projects, but we're kind of a collaboration of different styles, different genres, different takes, PC, non-PC type of reviewers / let's players / comedic for shows, and we found them all come together with the hopes of putting together a body of work, like a body of channel, a body of talent that we can later keep growing and growing. At this point, you'll be able to see it like on YouTube, and there's like a Facebook, and there's a Twitter and stuff like that set up for us. But eventually, obviously the idea is to get like a website and all kinds of other things, and then start establishing a community. So the group is pretty much set now of who's in it and not. And I'm gonna try to go through it on memory, but my brain's not quite what it should be. But And that way you guys can get an idea about what I'm talking about. You can go over to the YouTube Multitapped page and check out, you know, who we're subscribed to, the other members, and you can even just put it on there and they'll repost stuff about when all of our stuff gets sent out. And there's a lot of good guys in there. Maybe you haven't heard of them, so this might be a good thing for you. First up is Jay Hicks, or the Dolly Popka. He does a show called Reading Flashback on Xbox. Focuses pretty much exclusively on Xbox material. I know later on the line he's going to be getting into some other stuff, but it's a very interesting show. You don't hear much about the original Xbox. I mean, I'm even one of those guys who's guilty of, when I had an Xbox as a kid, I only bought it for Halo, and I think I've maybe bought 4 or 5 games in the entire life of it, other than Halo 1 and 2, and then I just retired it. When mine burned out, I just got rid of it. To me, the Xbox is a forgettable system, but I know there was a lot of games that just got, you know, that for sure got shit on because, you know, nobody, I don't know if it just wasn't popular or what the situation was, but maybe PlayStation 2 was too big. But there's a lot of good games on it, and he goes back and does really good reviews on different Xbox titles, and actually has inspired me on a few of them to actually go and buy some of those games. And what's great about Xbox is Xbox shit's pretty cheap. So, you know, it's a pretty easy system to get into to play the games right now. So definitely check out his channel over there. And all these guys that I mentioned here, I'll put links in at the bottom for. The next one we got here is Tiberius, Joshua Tiberius. Or Josh, I'm not sure how he likes to go by. He does a show called Test Your Might. Really good show. At the moment, I'm pretty sure that's like the, I think he does 2 other, like another show, I can't remember what it is, but he mainly focuses on one, which is Test Your Might. Basically, he's taking video games that are considered to be like hard, whether by reputation or by actually being like truly difficult to play, and he goes through them and tries to beat them. Now he does kind of a unique spin on it, whereas I mean, some of you might know I have a show called Beat This Game Day, which is kind of like that. But what he does is, not only does he pick these difficult games, he doesn't go through and study them. You know, he doesn't go to like Wikipedias or Let's Plays or tips and secrets type pages to learn how to get through these games. He takes them as they are with his current knowledge and tries to figure out how to get through them, which is definitely unique these days, because even me, like on my beat a game thing, my purpose is not to do that. I just want to be able to get through it as fast as I can, or at least show you like a detailed walkthrough of how to get through some difficult games. His isn't really like that. He beats all of his games and does his footage. He's more there about reviewing and going to tell you about, yes, is it a tough game, you know, what does it deserve the reputation it gets, is it actually a good game? And he's got a bunch of great stuff coming up, and even his past stuff that he's done has been really good. What's kind of cool about me and his show is that we kind of pick some of the same games, so it's always nice to see his take on it and my take on it. So definitely go out and check his shit out. He just released a new episode, Dino Ricky, which is on his channel, which is an extremely hard game, but he definitely gave it a fair review, so you should definitely go check that one out. The next one I'd like to mention is our good friend Jimmy Hoppa, which everyone should have a friend like Jimmy, and maybe you'll find out what that means later someday. But Jimmy does a show called Gaming Import, that's right, fuck, I couldn't, Jesus Christ. Import Gaming for the Win. And this is a show that I had seen prior to his introduction into the group, and I was happy to see him come in. He does a very well edited, very detailed, very PC show detailing foreign games. And I don't know exactly how many episodes, he's probably got over 10 easy. And it's a really good show. It's really informative. Again, not too many people do stuff on just imports alone. Jimmy has, not only is it just based off of, you know, he takes a subject of import games and does a review on them, he also has a unique opinion because he has spent a lot of time in that culture from where a lot of these games have come from. So he has a kind of a unique perspective on it and experiences with them. So when he talks about it, I genuinely take what he's telling me and I believe it. Whereas if I did something like that, I'd just be reading off a script. So excellent show. Go and check his shit out. The next one I'm going to mention is Jared from Avalanche Reviews. Again, another great show. I think he's got like 3 different ones. Trash Classics. I think it's Avalanche Reviews is one of them. And then there's another one. I can't remember, whatever. He's obsessed with Windjammers. I don't know what his deal is, but I've seen the game, but I mean I can see. But anyways, and that's a different subject altogether. But he has his great show, great presence. He's always got some really good stuff to say about current games and a little bit of past games. He's definitely not what I would consider to be a true retro gamer, and that's kind of hard to say what a retro gamer is nowadays anyways, but it's usually all the stuff he does is mostly like disc-based systems, so he doesn't go too far back. I know he's not like a big Nintendo guy or like huge Super or any of those. I mean, I think he plays some of them, but he's not like huge into those things. So his shows mostly focus on new ones, but I mean there's a lot of shit to focus on, you know, PS1, PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast, Xbox 360, you know, computer, PC. I mean, pretty much you got a huge stuff of shit to pull from there. And the kind of stuff that he likes to play is definitely different than the kind of style that I'm used to playing, even when I'm playing like Nintendo games. So it's always nice to hear about these games that I may never have given a chance. So he does excellent reviews over there. Yeah, so just go check his shit out. And then the next guy I'm gonna tell you about, Mr. J Dubious over there at Dubious Gaming. Again, another great show. He kind of runs the spectrum on games that he's going to pick out and do reviews on. I think he's done Mario Kart, Super Metroid. I can't remember what he's going to do some stuff like on Mortal Kombat or different things. Picks different topics, goes around. He does, again, another great reviewer. Kind of like I said, runs the gamut. Very informative. Definitely something you should check out. He's got a lot of videos. He's been doing them for a while, so definitely go over to his channel and check those out. The next one I'm going to tell you about, unfortunately a little bit, Nico. Nico runs 2 channels, and if you've never reached out to Nico, reach out to him because he will not let you down, I'll tell you that much. He runs one, Nico the Wii Guy, where he does, he goes back and kind of does reviews or puts the spotlight on older NES remixes or NES music, and he takes them, instead of them being in mono, he converts them over to stereo, and you know, it's kind of like a highlight show to you know, to get you acquainted with some soundtracks that you may have never heard of, because we all know that, I mean, there's probably like 20 classic soundtracks that everyone knows from Nintendo. And that's not really what he's doing. He's going and finding these, you know, older games which you may have never played, didn't know existed, or obscure, or even bad games for the purpose of gameplay, but the music is straight. So he goes back and puts those out, and puts like 3 or 4 of those videos up on his channel a week, and it's a good series. He definitely got a lot of followers, and he's got a good thing going over on that channel. And he also runs another channel called Gaming Going Gone, where he does review type comedic shows. He's done like a Back to the Future one. I think he's done like Spy Hunter. The last one he did was Terminator 2. Kind of does a review style on his own, what was it, quirky? I don't know. Whatever, style, and it is what it is. So definitely go and check his stuff out. So he's got both of those pages you can go and to look at, because equally is good for both of them. Yeah, another person I want to make sure gets some attention on here is Benevolent Dick NES. Man, what can I say about Benevolent Dick NES? A guy that I found through when we were looking for people to join up, when we were looking through people on a short roster there. His name came up. I had never heard of him. Went to his channel, blown away. He's been doing it, I think, a little over a year. Doesn't have a lot of videos, but what he's got is all quality. I don't know what else to say about his channel other than you need to go there. That would be really the best way to get it. But as far as like all the up-and-coming YouTubers who are in the style that I prefer, that I watch the most, comedic, like AVGN or JonTron, stuff like that, he's the guy to go to. It doesn't matter what he does. Benny could be Benny's one of those guys. Benny could be targeting his camera like I'm doing right now, and I probably already put you to sleep, and he can make it interesting. And it's probably what's going on in here. So I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I'm not that fucking funny, but yeah, he's awesome, man. He's got Co-op Bro-Off. That's really good. It's like a Let's Play, but he's got his buddy doing it with him, and they're drinking and they're playing games, and mayhem ensues. And he's got his regular one where he does reviews with the Nest Cat, which is awesome. He does pickup videos. He does little like tutorials on games. I mean, it never stops. And what's really unique about he's got a style that you can pick out anywhere. And like I said, I can't really describe it, but you have to watch it and you'll understand it. He's very unique in what he does. So definitely go over there and check out Benevolent Dick NES. Last but not least, this is a guy who is part of the group. You haven't seen too much from him, but I know he's going to get some stuff out soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is definitely a style. Again, when you're going for diversity in a group like this, you can't just stick with all funny comedic shit or serious Ted Koppel reviews and shit like that. You gotta run the gamut. And a big portion of gaming that's evolved over the last 10, 15 years has been different online type games and shit like that. And I never really followed with them. It's not something that I ever really got into other than like shooters and stuff. But there's like a whole community and people dedicated to it. And I think they even had like a big tournament or like championship something, and it was huge, bigger than they even thought it was gonna be. So it's definitely here to stay. And like I said, again, I'm happy to have someone who is knowledgeable in that sector, who can, bring some information over to us and kind of show our community about it. He's a big MOBA player. He's probably gonna hate me for this. I cannot remember the game that he plays. I've seen it, and I feel stupid for watching it sometimes because I look at it and I go, I don't know what's going on. It's like blows my mind. It's like LSD type treatment shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to when he puts up his channel and you start seeing him talk or showing gameplay footage of what he's doing. And that's a Donovan's channel. I don't know what he's gonna call his channel as of yet. I know he had one for a while, so I'll probably change it over to something else or maybe keep it what it is. But as soon as he gets something up and coming, I'll definitely let you guys know so you can go check it out. Because like I said, I'm very ignorant when it comes to that style of gaming, so I'm looking forward to it myself. We got one more member to talk about. I don't know how I almost forgot about this guy. My good friend Matt Elthoro. Sorry, but that was a bad joke. Matt, well, many of you may know him from his very popular series on YouTube, Innocent Until Proven Guilty, Cygnus Destroyer reviews, or perhaps his even bigger monstrosity of a show, the LGN Defender. Very happy to have Matt on board. I don't think I need to say too much about his work. The show titles pretty much say it all. Matt is a great reviewer, has great camera work. It's a very funny show, but it's also very informative, and he's definitely sticking up for the little guys in the video game world, like the LGNs and other stuff like that. So definitely something that you want to go check out if you haven't. He's definitely a pretty popular YouTuber, so if you don't know who he is, shame on you. But go check out Matt's stuff. He's a really nice guy, and like I said, his channel has nowhere to go but up. So definitely good shit there. Well, that's about it for the updates, guys. I'll have, when more stuff comes out for either Multitapped or my channel, I'll definitely do some more update videos and let you guys know. As always, if you have any recommendations, like on Beat This Game series, or anything you want us to review, or any other topics that you want us to cover, I've even thought about dwelling into random thoughts and expanding it out, where I do like reviews on movies or whatnot, because I'm kind of junky on that shit too. Definitely submit them. I'm always open to other ideas, because having a one-man show and it all being on top of my head is not that entertaining. Half of the interaction and half the inspiration that I get to do the stuff that I'm doing is from the comments of you all who are gracious enough to leave a comment on my page, or give me suggestions, or just push me further to just getting more of my material out. And I'm very grateful for every view I've ever gotten, or any of you who send me messages. So if there's anything that you want to see me do or whatnot, or you just want to ask me questions about how I shoot my videos, or anything about what's coming up in the show, whatever, feel free, reach out. I'll get back to you, I promise. I'm not always at everyone's beck and call all the time, but I definitely will take the time out and send you something if you were gracious enough to take time out of your day and send something to me. So thanks, guys.